Okay, with an understanding of interest rate policy, how the Federal Reserve conducts monetary policy, and how interest rates are determined in the market, we can start talking about pricing bonds. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just provide this short video as an introduction, and then I've made a series of other videos in the past that I'll post where we'll work examples of these bond pricing problems. Okay. So in finance, the price of any asset is assumed to be equal to the present value of the future cash flows that asset will pay. All right, and so we briefly talked about this on Tuesday, but the assets or the cash flows that a bond pays are the coupon payments as well as the face value of the bond. Okay, and we've talked about this before. So here what we have is we have the present value. Recall that the present value is equal to the future value divided by 1 plus r raised to the power of t. So this is the present value of the coupons in each time period t. And notice that I'm going to sum, this is the summation operator, I'm going to sum up these coupons in present value terms, and then I'm going to add the present value of the face value of the bond. Okay, so a couple of things to note here. In the formula here, the price of the bond is going to be our present value. The future value of the bond is going to be our face value. The payment in your financial calculator or in Excel is going to be the coupons that are going to be paid by the bond. N is going to be T, or the time to maturity. And I over Y is going to be R, or what we'll call the yield to maturity. Okay? And so it's important to understand the functions in the financial calculator or in Excel and how they relate to this formula. All right? So a couple of things. In the videos that we'll do and in our in-class discussion that we'll have, we're going to assume that when we price these bonds, we're going to assume that we're working from the firm's perspective. Okay? So when we talk about outflows and inflows, the outflows are going to be from the firm's perspective and the inflows are going to be from the firm's perspective. So with that being said, let me explain what's going to happen here. When a company wants to issue bonds to the market, they're going to come before the market and they're going to have already specified their coupon rate. Okay, so I'm going to bold this. It's being bolded because this is being specified by the firm. They're going to specify their face value of the bond, and they're going to specify the time to maturity. Okay, so the firm comes to the market and says we think we're about 5% risky. So let's assume that the coupon rate is 5%. Is 5%. So this is specified by the firm. The firm also specifies that the bond will mature in, say, 20 years. Okay. Also, as we mentioned in class, the face value or principal value of each $1,000 or each loan is going to be $1,000. So we'll assume in our class that the firm also specifies the face value to be $1,000, and we'll assume that for the whole period. Okay, the things that are bolded here, these are determined by the firm. Okay, so the firm will come to the market and they'll say, we think we're 5% risky per year, so we'll pay an interest payment worth 5% of this $1,000, so that's a $50 coupon for every bond held by a bondholder. And we are also going to specify that the length of the loan will be 20 years. Okay. Now, after the firm comes to the market and assumes this, the market determines the price of the bond and subsequently the yield to maturity. Okay? So the price of the bond, so if the market says to the firm who specified that their coupon rate was 5%, we think you're riskier than 5%, then what they're going to do is they're going to price this bond at a discount. And so what I'm going to say here is if the market thinks that the bond is riskier, then the coupon rate, the price of the bond will be less than 1,000. This is said to be at a discount or priced at a discount. Likewise, if the market believes that the bond or the firm isn't riskier than 5% and might have overstated its risk, the price of the bond can be greater than 1,000, or the price of the bond is priced at a premium. Okay. Now it's important to understand that the market determines this price, and when the market determines this price, look, the coupon rate is specified by the firm, the face value is specified by the firm, and capital T, the time to maturity, is specified by the firm. And when the market prices this bond, you can back out R, which is the yield to maturity. And in class, we mentioned on Tuesday that this is the actual interest rate that the firm pays. I hope you can understand the math there. So the price of the bond is determined by the market, and whether the bond is priced at a discount or a premium, once all this other information is provided, coupon rate, face value, time to maturity, then you can solve for R, and R is going to be our yield to maturity. Okay? So hopefully you understand this little introduction of how we're going to go about pricing bonds. I'm going to provide a series of videos where we will work examples, and as we work examples, if you watch 5 or 6 or 7 of these problems, these examples, you'll be able to price bonds in no time.